So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our conjunction video of the week. And this week we're going to be covering Sun and Jupiter in the 8th house. As in what happens when Sun and Jupiter are sitting in the 8th house of your horoscope. And as always, if you do not know, if you have this particular conjunction, what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, along with all your astrological details, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, consultations, and link to my academy, where I now also have my private podcasts and lessons there, where I teach a lot of new things pretty much at once every week or something. Today I'm going to be making a video on Uranus soon there. So anyway, let's talk about Sun and Jupiter in the 8th house. So first of all, what is the 8th house? 8th house represents the hidden, the private, the secret. It represents occult, mysticism, hidden knowledge, sudden upheavals, sudden ups and downs, life and death scenarios, insurance, inheritance, wills and estates, joint assets, taxes, anything that has to do with either hidden gains, including even speculation, or simply to do with the transformation, sudden transformation that comes in. It's also the house of inheritance as well. So Sun and Jupiter in the 8th house, you will first of all see, usually such people have to be careful with their dietary intake because they are susceptible to diabetes. They are susceptible to storing more fat. Why? Because from here, Jupiter will aspect the 2nd house and the 4th house. And the thing is, Sun being with Jupiter, what Sun is doing, it's putting a spotlight on Jupiter. That because Jupiter is with Sun, so whomever Sun is with, holding, that person looks just as big as the Sun. It's like the king praising you and, or like president praising you and, showing gratitude towards you. Suddenly that person becomes very important. Like, oh my God, you took a picture with the president? Oh my God, you received presidential distinction? Wow. So that's what's happening. So this is why the qualities of Jupiter becomes overblown with the Sun. And one thing I will definitely recommend such people is do not get into speculation. Speculative gains. Meaning doing day trading, especially like after birth of your children. Because if let's say you have children and then you do trading, it can cause sudden fluctuation in your money. More losses can come. But one thing we see is that this person can become a master manipulator of money. They can become a master manipulator of money, especially in earth signs. Their intelligence is so great that nobody suspects them of doing something or pulling the rug underneath. But that intelligence is hidden. Remember, it's secretive. And it's dealing with hidden wealth. Like these are the people, on a good side, can be your average Joe, your neighbor. And you suddenly realize that they're owner of a billion-dollar company, but nobody knows. They're just living a regular life. They feel like the power is more when you're hidden, when you're mixed in the crowd. You see, that's where they gain. The other thing we also see is that there will be sudden issues with the father after the birth of a child. Sudden fights can occur, especially related to inheritance. And usually these people make great money managers. They know how to handle your money. They have the intelligence to handle your money. But one thing you will notice is that this person will never like taking orders from people. Never will get along with bosses because they feel like I should be the one giving you orders. You shouldn't be the one giving me orders. And on the other hand, this person tends to find quite a powerful dwelling to live in, strong dwelling to live in. And usually you will see that either the father or even the individual or their child, especially the firstborn child, could be in government, especially administration related to government. They may even be involved with some committee. If they're not in government, they may be in some local government committee, or what do they call in India? Municipality? I forgot that name. In India, they used to use this word a lot. Municipality or something, like it's like a small group of people. So you will see this. But one of the things that this person should not do is try to hide their assets. Don't hide your assets from something or someone. If so, let's say you're supposed to declare your assets somewhere, you should declare it. That's very, very important. Because Sun and Jupiter are two of the big entities in the solar system, and because they're so bright and big, you can't hide assets. You know, you cannot take away that light. Somehow, some way, people will know. But this doesn't mean that you have to go out and tell everybody how much assets you have. I'm talking about more like on legal documents. Let's say you're filling out a home application for a home loan, and they're asking you what your assets are. Okay, well, these are my assets. Or let's say not even that, because in that you don't have to really tell. But if a government form is asking you, list your assets, list your assets. Don't try to purposely hide a big chunk of assets, because it will be known and caught. And then you don't want to be in a more trouble than what you were just trying to deal with. Okay. So anyway, guys, this was my analysis of Jupiter and Sun in the 8th house. Now, you must be also thinking like, well, could this also involve occult mysticism with this conjunction? Well, here's the thing, you guys. I mean, just because something is in the 8th house doesn't mean it is going to make a person interested in occult and mysticism. I've seen people back in the days when I used to meet them in person, I used to see their chart and I'm like, oh my God, this planet is in the 8th house. Oh, you love astrology, you're this. And they're like, no, I'm not into it. I actually don't even care for it. So the love for occult and mysticism is based on signs, based on tattva, based on other planetary placements in the chart. This, instead of occult, this may be just persons dealing with hidden money, hidden assets. On the other hand, someone may be dealing with occult. You don't know just because it's the 8th house. We can't really see that. But especially with Jupiter and Sun, a person will also be engaged in research in biology as well. If like you're the 5th lord and Putrakarka, supports it, usually I have found people who also do research in biology as well, biomedical type science. Okay. So anyway, we'll see you tomorrow, and make sure check out the links in the description where my KRS vlogs are at, and I'll be making the video on Uranus today, and then next week it'll be on the share markets, which you guys have always asked me. So anyway, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.